Crackdown 3 has got to be one of the awful Xbox game. Here are some reasons why this game sucks. The game was stuck in development hell for years due to Sumo Digital's making Team Sonic Racing at the time. By the time it came out, it became a generic open-world shooter that doesn't differentiate itself from other games. Moreover, the game does nothing to move the series forward, offering up nothing new. This was a common criticism for Crackdown 2, but since this is the third entry in the series, one would expect some innovation. Speaking of its development, it should be noted that Ruffian Games was fully available at the time as they actually helped create the Wrecking Zone mode. They also have more experience than the series since they developed Crackdown 2, which further adds to the confusion as to why they didn't develop the game instead. You often take down enemy waypoints before trying to take down the game's big bad. The shooting is so simple it's stupid. The enemy grid looks too similar to Shadow of Mordor's. Its multiplayer is quite bland. Its plot is so bare bones, it comes across as useless. Extremely overpriced, costing $60 at launch. Abysmal graphics that make the game look like an Xbox 360 launch title, despite running on Unreal Engine 4. Clunky physics that makes it difficult to perform jumps and move in the air properly. The guns are very unsatisfying to use and don't feel impactful at all. The enemies are way too easy to kill as they don't attack you back once you attack them and they always stay in one spot. Moreover, some enemies will not even acknowledge your presence at all even when you're using explosives to destroy buildings and structures, a la Fallout 76. The game lags a lot with just a few enemies attacking you at once. Whenever you successfully liberate prisoners and hostages, the remaining enemies will continue shooting at you during the cutscene and there's a good chance where they'll shoot down the prisoners and hostages by accident instead. Thanks to the ugly graphics, it is extremely hard to see where you're shooting most of the time. For some reason, a lot of the laser guns use stock gun sound effects. Your character is so weak that just walking into a slow-moving car or getting hit by small debris can easily knock him out. A lot of places are difficult to navigate and access due to the aforementioned physics, and the ridiculously small minimap. Bumping into slow-moving cars will shave off a big portion of your health, for some reasons. Most of the cutscenes in the game are nothing but comic book pages. False advertising. The multiplayer was advertised as having fully destructible environments with buildings that massively crumble to pieces. But in reality, they look nothing more than generic Lego blocks falling apart. The game easily gets boring and extremely repetitive after the first few missions. The lock-on system completely destroys the difficulty of the game and any type of strategy in the multiplayer. Wonky driving physics. Ridiculously easy boss fights. The quests you'll get are nothing but capture location X or destroy structure Y. It's extremely difficult to identify which walls are climbable of which ledges are grabbable. As a result, you'll be sliding down walls and falling off buildings most of the time. Clunky pickup mechanics that may cause you to pick up a gun instead of a rock whenever you have to toss a rock into a grinder. For some reason, the explosion effects and blood are green instead of red. As of now, it has effectively killed the Crackdown series, and that's all why I detest this game. Anyways,